Hi everyone, this is the Absolute Business Mindset podcast. Today we're going to talk about knowing the market. So what we're going to talk about today is for you to be able to understand what your clients need and be able to triple down on when those decisions need to be made. So what's the first things you need to think about when you're thinking about the market? So what I would suggest is you're starting this up. I would say that you need to speak to your clients, you speak to your friendlies, because they are the current market that you have. So it's really important that you go out, speak to them. Now, obviously, some clients are more friendly than others, and those ones that you have the best relationship with, I would say go out and speak to. They are the key people that you and know your business and know your company. And so those are the people that you would best get the knowledge out of, knowing what they need, equally to knowing your business as well. So I would say even if some of them might not be relevant, if you've got a difficult or a troublesome relationship, then I would say don't go out and reach to them. But you'll have some clients that will be interested and engaged and want to get to know different products or services that you perhaps are bringing to the market. So go and speak to those friendlies. They give you great insight. Second thing I would say is that you speak to experts. So there are obviously going to be experts in the market, whether they are people that you work with, whether they are people that you've networked with and might have a particular knowledge or skill or experience in the market that you're looking to leverage. So go and speak to those people because they will give a great insight into the area of business, not always the market, but they'll be able to give you a great insight into the product or service that you're providing. So if you're providing a piece of software and you've networked with someone, professor, for example, then they might be able to give you great insight into how to code it, how to develop it. It could just be a very experienced coder or a very experienced businessman who's worked in software for many, many years. It could be someone like that. Just get their view. Thirdly, speak to colleagues. So it depends on whether you're running a business or whether you're in a company. There will be colleagues that will be able to help. They might be partners or directors, they might be CEOs, they might be experienced people within your business. I would go and speak to them as well. You can get a viewpoint on them. They might not know your area, your business, but they will definitely be able to give insight into the company that you work for and maybe some barriers that you might get internally. So it could be a political sort of move. You need to make sure that you have got the right stakeholders involved and the people involved. So go and speak to those colleagues as well. They don't always need to be the most experienced people, but the people with the greatest knowledge in the area that you're trying to leverage might be very, very helpful. And then also, sometimes you need to go out and speak to the prospects, speak to the opportunities, the clients that you haven't got yet that you'd like to get, and going out and speaking to them. And if you're selling or bringing something new to the market, again, let's talk about software, you might want to go out and do a demo or do a presentation about what you're doing and your sort of timeframes, your delivery dates, etc. So it might be very important to go and speak to them as well because you get to know them. You're building relationships which will be stronger for your business in the long term. So equally, going out and speaking to someone about something positive about your business is also very, very attractive and very, very appealing when you're trying to get new business. So you can always cross-sell, as we talked about the friendlies, the clients that you've already got, but equally there is always scope for new businesses, new clients, new companies. So that's how you consult when you're sort of designing the phase of knowing the market. I would say also that this is incredibly important, and a lot of people trust hunches or sort of feel for what the market is. I would say this is kind of a little bit of a bad move. Let's just be honest, it is a bad move. If you're driven by what your most senior person or your expert is telling you, that can put you in a very weakened position. So don't do things on hunches. If you're going to really triple down on this, you need to know what the market is saying. So you need to think about those clients, those friendlies, those experts, those colleagues, and their opportunities, the prospects as well. So I've just told you that you need to listen to experts, I'm just going to say a bit of a caveat, a bit of a disclaimer on them. Experts are hugely biased. They believe their area is the most important area, and their expertise in that area means that everything, their whole world, is based on that very small segment of the market. So I would say, yes, go and speak to them, but sort of pinch of salt time. Just try and think about whether that is actually going to really make a huge difference. The experts give you a great viewpoint. I wouldn't trust them completely. Often experts are sort of clothed, let's say, metaphorically, in being the people that can make the right decisions. Sometimes these people aren't necessarily very business minded. Sometimes they are so focused on one thing. If you make a modification in a slightly different area, or you're going into a different module for a new area or new specialism, they will be very anti it because it's not their area of expertise. So definitely get their reviews, but don't base everything purely on an expert's view. And that just means, from my point of view, and this is my point of view, but this is my podcast, I can give you my point of view. Staying a generalist is a much better way in specialism. In not being a specialist and being the best businessman that you can be. Stay as a generalist. Yes, get to know markets, get to know understanding of software, and embed yourself in that. But always try and think about the business mindset rather than the specialism mindset. So how do you ask people's opinions? How do you get to that point? Now, any of those people that I've spoken to, friendlies, experts, colleagues, or prospects, you can do it in a variety of different ways. I'm not going to go through everything, because if you check back into one of my podcasts, I've got some details about user research, which is basically what we're kind of talking about now. There are, I think, when I did the course, 30 or 40 different ways of being able to find out information. And all of that, they could be, for example, surveys, it could be labs, they could be phone, they could be face-to-face. There are many, many different ways of being able to skin this cat. And so I would say, do a little bit of research. What's the best one for each of them? I wouldn't take one particular way for all of those people, because you might want to, for example, you might want to ask experts in a particular controlled atmosphere, or maybe even the friendliest might be a controlled atmosphere. They don't know what you're actually asking them about. So you don't get any sort of, you're not making promises to them. They just answering questions in a survey format or in a lab scenario. So there are definitely loads and loads of ways of being able to do this. So check out the podcast. I give some more options and ways of being able to do this. But my point that I want to make is, try and think about those specific people that you want to speak to, and design your user research, the gathering of those opinions and views, by doing your different type of user research. Okay, so you need resource. You've spoken to the people, you've got the opinions, you now decide you want to do something about it. So how do you get resource? So basically, there are always three types of resource. There are external people, new people that you bring into the business, and they might have a particular expertise, knowledge, skill set, experience that you want to be able to leverage. Bringing new people in has its own problems. Sometimes there's a lead time before they can join the company. Some, if they come from another company, sometimes you don't know what you're getting. People can come over very well in interviews, but you never 100% know what you're getting. But the skill of being able to do a very good interview is something that should not be underestimated. So if you're getting new people, develop those skills, do a bit of reading, do a bit of thinking about what you want to be able to get from that person in the interview. So you can get people externally, which is a great avenue. Secondly, you can get people from your own team, and you could leverage them. This might be reprioritizing their workload and being able to bring something new onto their job description or their role. So That's obviously a good way of being able to upskill people within your own team. That can be kind of hard because some people are often working very long hours or stretched on what they currently do. So that's only if people have the availability or even the interest. Sometimes people are interested in an area, you bring them in, they get a passion for it and delve right into it, and they might drop one or two other things. So internal people from the same team is very valuable. And thirdly is internal people, other people in your business, in your company, that might be able to do. Again, you're getting interviews, you're wanting to understand what they can bring to the party or bring to the role, but equally it gives you an extra layer. You can speak to their line manager, you could reach out to them, you could speak to their boss and find out what sort of person they are. So it gives you an extra level of security that you don't get with external people, but again you can get references from external people. Anyway, those are the three different options I think you can have. So look out for those when you're trying to resource your business for this new idea, and you're understanding the market. Get the right people. The right people are critical. A new person bringing in 120%, if that's possible, if it's not just 100%, to that role can be so valuable, and you can triple down on your area, your new module, if you get those right people in your business. Your employees or your resource is the most important part of your business. Clients come and go, clients leave. The people are the people that drive your business. So it's so critical to get the right people in at the right jobs, doing the right things, and you will have a successful business. So resource is massive. The other thing when you're thinking about the market, and it comes into knowing your market, understanding your market, getting the right resources, listen. Now I'm just going to drop that there and just pause for a little bit. You need to listen to the market. You need to listen to your experts, your colleagues, your friends. You need to listen to your resource. You need to listen to the way they get you their opinions in the surveys or face-to-face. You've got to listen to them. So it's critical that you're able to deliver and listen to that person when they're giving their views and opinions. And then it's about acting and doing. So you've looked at the whole 360 view on the market. You've understood, you've listened, you've understood, you've been able to build up a view on how you're going to deliver that module. Then it's doing, acting, getting it done. You've got the right resource, deliver. And then once you've got all of those pieces in place and you're starting to do, then it's triple down. It's get those people working, get you working as hard as you can to triple down, because you've understood what the market needs. You've got the new module of software, you're delivering that, and you have to do that as fast and as best and with true quality to be able to get that done. And then once you've done all of that, then it's just sales and marketing. It's getting the budget to be able to get extra sales and marketing, and then triple down on that. That's what you've got to drive. You're building a module, you're then going out and you're marketing and selling to people to be able to get your message of your new piece of software out. And the last point I just want to say is about trusting what the market has said. That is incredibly important. You need to be able to trust them on what they're saying, because you've done all this research, you've done all this understanding. So triple down on understanding what the market is, and then get things done and deliver. Thank you. This is the Absolute Business Mindset podcast. You can check me out on iTunes, Stitcher and Spotify and Google Play. And you can check me out on the video on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. There are my handles for social media.